All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's Free Friday coaching call. For those of you that might be joining us for the first time, we do this the first and third Fridays of each month. And the history of how this call came to be is that my late husband, Rick, who by the time he passed away was 43 years in the industry, had such a passion for helping people in their mindset and skill set and business and lives around real estate. And everywhere he'd go, when he'd speak and travel, he'd give out his phone number and say, if you need anything ever, you just call me. And so people did. And that got to be a lot of people calling. So he decided to do a call that all of his friends in the real estate community come together with. And that's how this call got birthed. Oh my goodness. I don't know how it's been years and years ago. So we've kept it going in the commitment to the community and our friends in the community. And what I love about this call is that now we have interviews with people who are doing incredible things, have done incredible things, and are here to contribute freely for the benefit of all. So there's over 900 people that are signed up on the email list that want to be notified of the call and get the call recording. So for those of you that are catching the recording, grab something to write on and something to write with, because I know we're going to have a lot of incredible value-packed information for you today. I'm super excited to introduce our guest for today. She's somebody that from afar that I watched for years without ever having the opportunity to really spend any one-on-one time together with. And then as things progressed, really, we came into each other's periphery a little bit more closely because she was a recipient of the Rick Jiha Award that gets awarded every year at the Cabo trip. And that award is given to somebody who is loving, optimistic, cares about people, and wants to help and make a difference and demonstrates that to the core of their being. And so, Shelley Johnson, somebody that I'm proud to call a friend and somebody that I have so much respect and admiration for. She's been in the industry for years as well. She's the co-owner of LePage Johnson Realty Group, and they service Charlotte and Lake Norman markets. And she's also the co-creator of Impact Worldwide, which is a 3,700 agent organization that's across 48 states around the US and 10 different countries. So she's built an incredible community of people that are succeeding and thriving. On a personal level, she's got two dogs, four horses, a wonderful husband, and she loves adventure, which is one of the things that I love about her. And it's never, is it going to happen? It's what's it going to take to make it happen? Like she's completely solution oriented. She's generous, optimistic, authentic. Her authenticity is incredible. And one of the things that I really appreciate about her is that she is relationship driven. Yes, we know in our business transactions are always important. However, what she really cares about and is focused on are people. And so, Shelley, I'm so grateful for you, for your friendship, and for you being willing to come and share with us today on a topic that I know everyone's excited to learn about and how they can integrate in their business. So, welcome to the call.
Thank you so much, Casey. What an honor to be here. What an incredible leader you guys have in Casey. She's done an incredible job of championing Rick, and they work together to build something that's quite monumental in my mind that is making a difference. And it's an honor to call her a friend. And it's great to be here on a Friday. You guys are doing it, you're showing up, and you're doing the things that make a difference. Because when you hear from people that can have done it a little bit before, sometimes that makes all the difference. And with Casey's experience and my experience and a lot of other great people's experience, you just grow and grow and grow. And that's really my passion, is seeing all of us thrive. I'm going to share my screen with you. I prepared a slide presentation to put together so you could be visually see what I'm talking about and be able to help you be able to, you take screenshots of it, take notes. And if you have questions, you can stop me along the way. I love interaction. I'm not going to be able to see you guys as I'm presenting probably very well. So if you do, just raise your hand. Laura will let me know that there's someone that wants to share something or have a question. Please interact. Please don't be shy. There's no dumb question. We're all learning together. I freaking learn every single day. And sometimes I'm like, oh, that was so easy, but I was making it so hard. So we don't need to do that. We can make it easy for all of us. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen with you. Let's see if it'll let me. It kind of wants me to do something else down here. Let's see. Bear with me a minute, guys. There it goes. Okay. So let me get this in presentation mode, and here we go. So one of the things in our industry that I think has been extremely difficult is like we love people and we want to use that opportunity that we've been able to build these relationships with to also serve people. And what I've most recently realized is like with AI over the past few years, it's been coming more and more as an opportunity to help us leverage time. And also, but it doesn't mean we're replacing us or the people we serve, and the people we serve aren't going to replace us. So one of the things a myth that I'd like to dispel is that AI is going to take our industry because I don't believe that one iota. I actually think what it is the things that we wanted to do that we're taking. I don't know if y'all can see me, but if taking us from here to here, we're going to get rid of a lot of things that were in the way with AI, and that's how I've been using it. So I'm excited you're here to kind of learn how I'm using it and to share anything that may be helpful to you. I'm Shelley Johnson, and just like what Casey said, I won't go over this quickly, but I am a horse girl. I love life and I like to have fun, and I love real estate, and I'm passionate about agents and their success. So I've been in the business for a long time, done a lot of things just about by pure time in the industry. So any of you that are new in the industry, this is a road ramp for you that you can go a long ways. And if you're like, I've been in for a little while and I have hit those ceilings, this is your opportunity to take it to the next level. So here we go. So I work a small number of lead sources. I don't work a ton of things. There's a lot in our industry. I find that we have so many shiny objects and so many distractions between just in our industry alone, but then let alone life, like all the things we do with our kids or your kids. I don't have kids, but your kids, you do, all the people, all the hats we have to wear. So I think that if we add a lot of lead sources, it actually confuses us and slows us down. So what I'd like for people to do is like research what works for you and then take that and like leverage that to the highest of your ability. It will consistency, like the slide says, will beat variety every single time. It's work deeply, and work tightly, and then find the pieces that will help amplify what you're doing. Building relationships is not scripts. Everyone's like, oh, what's your favorite script, Shell? I'm like, I don't have a favorite script because I'm a goofball. You guys will figure that out very quickly. I'm super goofy. Um, I'm not polished. And so I hope that this gives you a lot of confidence that I'm a human being, and so is Casey, and so have a lot of you great leaders that are on this call. I don't use scripts. Maybe I'd use some words from a script. I'm not discouraging you from using scripts because they're super successful. But what I am asking you to do is take those scripts and authentically be yourself within them. Trust compounds. Scripts really don't. Scripts give you a structure to work with inside of. So, like, if you can't say a script perfectly, don't worry about it because that really doesn't matter. What matters is how your energy level matters, how you come across, your authenticity, your sincerity of what you believe in. And when you believe in something with all your heart, it's really easy to serve well. So I hope that helps anybody who has those little hangups, because I've had those hangups and I've had them. Um, so pick three buckets that really work for you. One of them has to be your database. Like database is not a sexy word, but database means think of database as like your love bucket, the people that you like that you've met, that you have a relationship with. It's like your past clients, it's people who know and like you, it's people who trust you. But what we want to do is amplify that love bucket, if you will. And that's where you want to spend most of your time, a good amount of your time, and then pick other buckets. Like we all have heard these things that are on the slide, but don't pick more than three because when you pick more than three, it gets confusing for you. And like I said, the more you try to do it all, the less you actually accomplish. So pick your three things and going hard on them. I love community. I'm a community person. Sometimes you're like, I need leads like right now. Community will take longer. I am going to talk about the buckets quickly just because I want you to think about it from a different perspective other than like, this is my lead bucket. This is what I do. And it doesn't work for you for 6 months. It's because there's long plays and short plays in life, especially in business. You're going to have like paid leads are more direct, open houses are more direct, expired listings and for sale by owners are going to be more direct. They're more instant because you can have a conversation today with someone who's actually looking to do the activity that you provide, the service you provide. So an open house done at a high level can convert a lot faster than doing the community work, showing up as a charitable person, like showing up in your community. Doing geographic farming takes time. It's long term. It's like building that trust, that relationship, and it's got to be layered. So all of these buckets layer over each other, but at the same time, pick three, go in hard, learn that bucket well, and then look for ways to leverage it through AI, through the tools and resources you have. Um, the biggest mistake people make is they try to use tech to just be their voice. And unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, fortunately, we have a voice and we get to have a conversation and we get to build those relationships through picking up the phone and making a conversation and building a connection. So that's something AI will never replace because, people are going to don't only trust technology to a point. They want to know the human mind behind why that tech came up with that idea. The biggest mistake I see agents making, regardless of AI, but pre-AI, was not making this thing your most valuable tool. And I don't mean by scrolling on social media, I mean by picking it up and having a conversation. So my favorite thing to do is to take these guys, plug them in my ear, and call as many people as possible so that I can have a deep, meaningful conversation. And then I know Casey will totally agree with this. I know this was probably may have been Rick's idea through Rural Workman, but Rural always says it's Ford, Ford, family, occupation, recreation, and dreams, right? Those are the things people care about. They care about their family. They care about their how they make money. They care about how they are going to have fun with their family, and they care about their dreams, their future, where they're going. And all you have to do is marry all that together in a phone call or conversation. So, but what AI can do is make things cleaner and easier for you to do. So, if you don't nurture your bucket, no, you don't need to, you should even have other buckets if you don't nurture a database. Um, it's one strong partner. So, one thing I think that we get hung up on in our industry is we think that, oh my gosh, my sister-in-law didn't use me to buy her house. I'm so offended. And we spend like hours being offended by who didn't use us rather than being excited about who does use us. So don't be offended by who doesn't choose you. Be excited about who does. And don't spend my husband always says, don't give it oxygen, Shelley. Like when something happens and it's disappointing, you have like a minute to get over it because it's not really that important. It wasn't for you. If it doesn't happen naturally, it wasn't for you. So what this slide is talking about is one strong partnership is really all you need. You don't need 1,000 partners. You need one partner. And what I'm saying that is like it could be a lender that refers you business, or maybe it's the restaurateur who owns like two restaurants in town. I was talking to a guy on a plane yesterday, and his daughter owns two restaurants, and he goes, she's the mayor of our town because she's personable and likable. And but what's cool about that, if I was a realtor in that town, I would want to know Lily. That's his daughter's name. I would want to know Keith's daughter's name, Lily, and I would get in relationship with them because I'm like, she's obviously likable and fun. Everyone likes her, so that's easy. And then, and so she probably is going to be like, oh my gosh, Joy, you're amazing. I'm going to refer Joy when someone talks about real estate. I'm like, have you met Joy Johnson? Have you met her? That's how Lily's going to talk about Joy. So that one partner is what is going to be but look for them. You have to find them. They're like they're a haystack of people, and find that person that's like going to champion you. So that's a little thing that I've done over time that has really helped me. I feel like there was a chat somewhere and maybe I'm not seeing it. It popped up on my screen for half a second. Let me see. Uh, I love that. The Casey's writing that. If it doesn't happen naturally, it wasn't for you. Love that. Um, then let's see. Let's go back up here. I'm gonna get out of that. Forgive me. Um, okay, we're back to that slide. Get out of that guy. Okay, now I can move on. Okay, so online content, you can create educational content. A lot of the content I see online with realtors is they're trying to be online, but you need to be intentional about your messaging. In fact, myself personally, I'm reworking my own content because if you think of it in percentages, like in a circle, and 70% of your content is lifestyle. Like, who cares? That's not serving them. And that's kind of where my marketing team has gone. I'm like, I love that you guys think that I'm fun, but who cares? Like, like that's great. What about like Tammy having fun and like having like the life she wants? Like, I want that my content to speak more toward Tammy and towards Casey and Joy. And that's who I'm seeing right now on my screen. Um, and Laura, I want like my content to speak to you guys. I don't want it to speak about, oh, Shelley's life's so great over here. Like, who cares about my life, right? Like, that's not the point. And so, my direction, so when you're talking to your audience about your life, about like how you're going to help them, serve them, I would make it more educational in a relatable way with a story. So, like, if say you share your story about how you help somebody do X. And I think what we worry about is, do I look good enough? Like before I got on this call, my hair was kind of like, I don't know, it was frizzy for some reason. So I went, ran and fixed my hair because I got to get on this Zoom call with you guys. And I was like, I look kind of messy. Like even though I tried, like this morning, I had to go back and restart. So, but the point is like you want to just like don't worry about that because like, do you guys really care if my hair was frizzy? Probably not. You're probably like, we don't care. Like that doesn't matter. We get hung up on stupid stuff. And so don't try to chase a trend. Don't try to be like, I'm not, my friend who's on social media is super cute and she does these really funny videos. And I'm like, I'm funny, but I'm funny like in a weird way, like in a way that I can't put on. Like it's like I have to do something dumb and then it's funny. She does these really funny videos and I think they're hilarious. And I'm like, oh, I should do that. I'm like, but that's not how I work. Like I don't operate like that. So don't try to be someone you're not. Um, and then when you do post something and you do offer something, make sure you have some way of making sure you're following up. Like if you tell someone to drop it in the DMs, like give your audience an opportunity to talk to you through your DMs and like invite them to have a conversation. Ask them a question that's more engaging about like, I did this and I screwed it up. What would you have done? Like, how could I be better? Those kind of questions. People love to tell you how you could be better, by the way. But so anyway, then there's paid leads and open houses. So we're talking about those are like some buckets that kind of are quicker to kind of grab people, I think, are these three buckets. Or they were my buckets. I didn't do paid leads, but my team, we did paid leads on my team, and it was a way for me to get my team activated faster. So for myself personally, I'm a referral repeat business person. Um, if that helps. So then you talk about your sphere is bigger than your CRM. So you constantly need to be adding to like you may have people coming in to your CRM and you may have a database of like let's say it's 300 people. Let's say it's 20 people. Add 5 to 10 people a week to your database. And but when you're adding them, make sure you're telling yourself who they are. Like if you had a conversation, what was your last objective in that conversation? Always leave a conversation with a next to do so that when you engage them the next time, you know what you're going to ask them. So you're not just like, hey, what's going on, Joy? How are you doing? You're more like, Joy, I saw you went to Maui. What was it like? Tell me about it. I've always wanted to go there. I've never been. Could you just tell me like your top two things? That would mean so much to me. I want to hear all about it. Like that's a different conversation. Hey Joy, how's the kids? How's the da, da, da? Or like Casey's like not feeling well right now. Casey, what is going on? Like tell me, what doctor did you see? Did they give you a good result? Like what are you doing to fix that? And you want to understand like where the person they feel heard, they feel like you care about them. They when you do, like you don't do this unless you care about people. But it gets the intentionality with the conversation from just being like a casual conversation and intentionality. And most recently, my whole vision has been like more intentionality, being more engaged with the right people, not just a group of people. So I'm like leveling up who I hang around, spend time with. And not because I don't love everybody, because I really genuinely do. But me doing that helps me serve everybody else better. Does that make sense? So even like like the people you're hanging around, maybe you play tennis every week, but you go to like tennis for everything. Like you go to tennis classes, then you play tennis on the court, then you guys go to lunch, and then so you're hanging around the same 10 people. What if you like also found that there might be another tennis club on the south side of town you could join? So now you're in two clubs. Like it's still tennis, but now you're expanding your network. And then you're feeling like, well, if I want to be the best, I'm not a tennis player, by the way, so I don't even know where that came from. But but let's say that you want to be the best tennis player, then all of a sudden you like hang out with you like, oh, I want to start putting yourself in the room where you're in the room with the people who are doing it at a higher level because it just helps you. And Brent's taught me a lot of that. Like Shelley, like really be intentional with your time and who you're hanging with. I don't even know if I finished that slide. Um, if I had to stop everything else, which bucket would still send me business? It would always be my sphere. It would always be the relationship bucket. So like if I had couldn't do social media ever again, like my Facebook account got completely shut down and I had no choice, that would be the bucket that would continue to send me business. Um, and I do everything the hard way, guys. Like I have always been like a bootstrapper, if you will, or someone who just does everything the hard way. And there's much easier ways to do things. And that's what I love about AI is it's gotten us where we can do things a little bit easier. And I'm going to get into that. Um, Connectors versus salespeople, like there's two. I love being in a relationship with salespeople because they understand that the relationships matter. Great salespeople. I'm going to use that word a lot differently. Like a salesperson understands the relationship. A good salesperson understands relationships. Now, our salesperson is maybe transactional. Like that is not me. I'm not a transactional person. I don't value that at all. Yes, there's transactional. Like this, if I buy this bracelet, that's a transaction. There's no now that's a lie because behind this are these women in South America who actually build these bead by bead. So even this is not transactional. It came the person who sold me this told me about that's built with copper underneath and but this is more of a transactional item. Now this is transactional, right? We buy an iPad or a cover and we buy it once. We're in a relationship business, so it's really important for us to hang out with relational people. Connectors are people who are constantly like, how do I add value by connecting you to somebody else? That's probably my most favorite thing to do is being an incredible connector. I love like adding value by going, you need to know this person. Or I look for like the gold inside of somebody and I'm like, this person needs to know you. Like that's even better. Like when you bring someone from over there to this person you just had a conversation with, that's a really valuable connection. So, and now we're going to add AI to the mix of this. So AI is great at helping you with things that like CRMs were good at like, oh, your birthdays were in there. Like AI can now take you and go, hey, Shelley, you need to call Tammy today. It's her birthday. Like AI can give you lists in the morning if you program it properly. Did you know it's these people's anniversaries? And maybe you're not going to call them for their anniversary, but maybe you have a virtual assistant or AI can probably even, I know it can, I just haven't set this up, but you can send out notes to all your sphere and say, hey, the people that have a home anniversary or a wedding anniversary or their kids are graduating, like if you can just plug all this stuff in, AI can help. This is where it can help level that up when you can't make a phone call to 100 people, right? But you can hit like your, so then what I do and would do with this is take the birthdays, anniversaries, and I'd have a database that's laid out in my A's, B's, D's, and C's and D's. And I know you guys probably have that, right? Like your top 10 or your top 50. So if you have your top 50 and your top 50, you then take that and you say, okay, I want to call my top 50 always when any of this stuff happens. But I want you to see a message to my 50 to 100. And you can customize and set all this stuff up. And that's a high use of time because any activity you have to do more than once or twice or three times, now that's a system, right? And I think my biggest challenge has been setting up great systems that do the things I need them to do. Now, AI, because I'm a high touch, high expectation person, and I don't like things to be done wrong. I don't know how many of you have that problem, but I do. Timmy's like, I do. Um, but with AI, we can give it our voice, and that's the difference from before, rather than like a generic like post, "Happy birthday, Tammy," and you know that like it went to everybody in that person's database. You can have all these customizable things, in the database. And I know that this can be built out, and I've not built this out yet, so I'm not telling you I've done this. I know that it's possible to do it, and if I can figure it out, and I do, when I do, because this has kind of got me going more, like, how can we build this out and just give it to somebody and run with it? Um, the writing the draft, I know a lot of us have all used ChatGPT to like, we'll just say, give it some criteria. It'll pump out a prompt, it'll pump out something. And we're like, that's not my voice. And then, but it is good for foundational stuff to give you a foundation to start with. And then you craft it into your own. And goes for like this slide deck was created in AI, but it didn't just create the slide deck. The slide deck was created in Claude, and then it looks really good. Like if I had to make this myself in Canva, it would not look pretty, right? But then we customized it. We did 3 iterations of it. It wasn't like I just pumped it out and said, "Oh, good, I'm just going to present on this." I gave it what I wanted, and then it created it and made it pretty faster. So now it's easier for me to do presentations because before it would be like, "Oh, Shelley, can you do a presentation? What am I going to do it on?" And I did this presentation, but I didn't add the AI component before, and I was able to talk to Claude and say, "Hey, I love that presentation. I want to take these pieces of AI that I'm using, and I want to implement, show agents how they can use it in their business." So I'm showing you like even everything you do, you can do this. Like you can start using it. And it's like, well, I'll do it tomorrow and I'll do it tomorrow. But if it's something you're doing over and over, this could be something that'll drive your business a little faster. I'm going to try and look at your chats. It's hard for me to look at them. Okay. Can I read your can AI read your lofty database? That's a great question. I'm actually going to get to that. It can, yes. It can do that. I do know that for a fact. Um, so show up, it will never show up to funerals. It's never going to replace you as a person. The belly to belly, if you will, the lunch where you have a friend, you talk to your friend because they need a person just to pour into to be a listener for them. It's never going to replace that. It's never going to be able to care enough. It's not going to be able to build the same trust. That's our job. But what we can do is use it for sorting, organizing, creating opportunities to leverage what seems insurmountable to us on the other side, right? And then use yourself for the love. And then you can do basically just hit every single person in your database before. Do you know our brain can only really think of about 20 people at any given time? Did you know that? I didn't know that until about 2 years ago. And I was like, wow, that means I don't remember most of the things. And if you have ADHD, it's worse because if they're not in front of you, they're gone. And and that is a weird thing because it doesn't mean you don't love them. Your brain just can't do it. So it's an interesting thing that we think we can remember more than we can. We give our brain a lot of credit and we're super smart, but really what we're great at is being loving, being smart, being intuitive, being thoughtful, being able to take good information and make it into better information, things like that. What AI does, it takes the pieces where we're weaker and helps us amplify on the things that where we want to be stronger. So that's how I look at AI. It's an amplification of who we want to be to more people to serve more. Um, So this talks about how to segment your sphere, find relationships. Have you had people that you're like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that person? Have you ever done that? I've totally done this. And and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, that's so weird. Now I have to call them. What am I going to say? Like you get like kind of caught up in your own head because you didn't make the call. Well, first of all, I'm gonna make that totally okay because they didn't call you either. It's okay. Like they forgot to, so it's okay. Like say you had a closing and it was a year ago and you haven't talked to that. You're like, I was gonna call them. I was gonna drop flowers by. I was gonna go see how their new pool looks. I was gonna, right? But then the kid got sick. We had a graduation. My daughter got married, and my mom had needed to go to the doctors like every day for like a month, right? So that didn't happen. And now like you feel awkward calling them. I've heard agents tell me this. They're like, I feel so awkward calling them. I'm like, they don't care. They just want you to remember them. They don't care when you remember them. So don't like those, use AI to help you spot those so that they don't go like 2 years without hearing from you because there's just things that happen. You get busy with other sales. Now like you're in relationship with this other transaction. You're so fully invested in this other deal. And that's really what happens is we go from this deal. I don't know about you, but I used to have closing table remorse, like sadness, almost like grief. Because I'd be like, I love their daughter. Their dogs are going to go to this. I told them where to go to the doctor. I told them what the best massage person was in town. I told them like all this stuff about what they need to do. They're going to love this restaurant. They need to do this, blah, 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 blah. And then we leave the closing table and I'm like, now what do we do? Like we don't get to be in the relationship kind of changes. It's weird. So use this to help with those things. Like we talked about the draft, the warm, and drafting a bunch of different things in your tonality. And I will tell AI likes to be nice to us. And really, you need to tell it, don't be nice to me. Give me something that's really authentic. Give me something that really speaks my voice. Give me this, and you can give it a bunch of things that you've written, or like if you're on a Zoom, like if I was on the Zoom today, I could stick this in Claude and it'll know that I'm a goofball. Like, and it'll probably give me goofier responses, but that it learns but you can take even something like this, it's not intended to do what this thing says, like to build anniversary and birthday wishes, but it will start to pick up like Shelley's idiosyncrasies, if you will. And then getting the outcomes, you get more 50 thoughtful texts instead of five, you know what I mean? Like you can amplify everything you're doing. Let's see, where am I? So here's the question. Lofty, it will do, you can plug Claude into Lofty and you can plug it in Follow Boss and also Bold Trail. You can use, there's AI systems inside of there as well. I know that in Lofty, you should be able to take your database. I've not done this myself, so forgive me for that because I'm not in production. I'm doing other things, but these things all apply to production. I have a production team, so don't hear me that I don't sell houses because we do like 90 million a year. But what Lofty does is you have your CRM. There's ways to get, even if you have to extract your CRM, you can do things. I'm not sure how to tell you to do this. But the answer to your question, Joy, is yes. I just don't know how to do it. And but here's, even if it isn't yet, if it wasn't exactly yes, because I don't know their integrations yet, you can take your database out of there and you can curate it through Claude. So, and then maybe you could put it back into Lofty. I feel like you definitely could do that. I don't know if Claude integrates into Lofty integrates into Claude though, if that makes, does that make sense?
Can you do
Joy, have
it?
you done it? Have you messed with any of this? Have any of you messed with this? I'm curious.
Can you connect it through Zapier on the MCP
That's what
side?
I'm wondering, is if you could use Zapier and connect it in. Some systems will let you do it and some won't. Joy,
That's
go
how I
ahead.
Bold Trail.
Oh, that's how you do Bold Trail.
Mhm.
So you're connecting it through Zapier.
Correct.
Joy, what's your question? What you got? You guys don't have
Wasn't
to
really
raise
a
your hand. Just talk.
question, but I wanted to respond to Tammy when I read that because one, your Lofty database is AI powered, so
It
finding
is.
all those things, it's in there. But if you use Claude Cowork, you can ask Cowork can work in all the programs, apps, and things you're running on your computer. So if you use Claude Cowork, which I think you have to pay, but it's $20 a month or $29 or something, but I've been playing with it and you can have it go into different apps or programs and do other things for you or identify what you need to do. So if you
So you
need
don't have
to
to have Zapier to do that, Joy, is what you're thinking?
no, Cowork
Okay.
will just go in there. So I've even used Cowork to go in my email and say, I
Yeah.
think I missed something in my email. Could you find all the events that I was invited to in the last month?
Mhm.
And it'll
Good.
go right in there and do it. And I know you can search your email, but it's a little more natural feeling for us and a
Yeah.
good way to use AI to do that. But definitely, I would say explore the AI capabilities of your CRM because they can do so much when it
Have
comes to
any of
that.
you guys used Whisperflow? Have any of you guys used Whisperflow yet?
I haven't, but I know people who are using it and love it.
So my husband was like, "You need to use Whisperflow," and I'm a little hard-headed until I'm not, and then I'm like, "Oh, you're right. I should have been doing that." So Whisperflow is a tool that you can put on your phone and on your laptop. So I have it on my laptop. So like when we're using Claude, I can talk into that system, and I can give it or any email or any tool inside of my laptop, and it saves me a ton of time because I'm not a super fast typer and I make a lot of typing mistakes. Um, and it will clean up everything you say. So like I say a lot of filler words and it will clean it all up and it will actually punctuate it. It will make bullet points. It will organize it. And it's a really great tool to get your thoughts out when you're trying to do things quickly. So I love the tool. It's a really, really good resource. It's giving me a lot of leverage. I see somebody else, maybe they're using it too. It's Whisperflow. I'll put it in the chat for you. Hold on one second. At the end, I'll put it in the chat for you guys, okay? Once I'm done, I don't want to go out of this plot out of the screen. Let me show you on my phone. It looks like this. Hold on a second. It's come on, computer. It looks like this one right here, the one with the little like black with the white lines, like a radio. It looks like that. It's called Whisper Flow. And then the spelling of it is I think it's WISP flow. I mean, that's what I'm trying to find the actual spelling because they have like their own little cute spelling of it, you know?
I put it in the chat.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Yes, Whisper Flow like that. Yeah. Um, and it's a really, really good tool. Debbie, you said you used it. Well, how does it help you?
I kind of multitask. So what I
Yes.
have kind of a funny setup here where I've got my
You have
laptop.
ADHD too.
I can't get cowork on my desktop computer, but I have it on my laptop. So I'll sit on my laptop. I feel like I'm a keyboardist. I'll sit on my laptop and hold the button and talk while I'm going through my emails on my big screen, but my laptop is recording what my voice is saying for
Yeah.
drafting an email or writing something or giving chat a code, a prompt that I want it to do or a brain dump or whatever. And so it definitely helps me multitask, and it does take out your filler words or pauses, and it helps kind of reformat your sentences sometimes if you have maybe not so efficient language style.
That is exactly how I use it. And the other thing too, I've used it for is when I'm talking to my team, because I wake up at like 4 in the morning with like a brain dump. And I used to be horrible about texting people at 4 in the morning. That was not sometimes their favorite. But I take Whisper Flow, I open up a Google Doc and I just brain dump in the Google Doc. And then I put a send later text and I say, check your email. I did it to brain dump. It's in your email. And I put the Google Doc in the email. I use the Google Doc instead of just doing an email because then I can go back to it and I can rework it like after I talk to them if we come up with ideas based on what I want to do. I don't know if you guys work with anybody, but that is a really great way to work with people. They appreciate it, especially for our non crazy ASG people. They like us better when we do that. So for anybody that struggles with that and communication style, it's really helpful. Um, okay,
Shelley,
so
could
yeah,
could you just go over that really
right,
again quickly, how you do that
yeah,
when you're working with other people? Because I'm
yeah,
up at 5 with my puppy, and I'm
yep.
like, once I'm up and I'm going, and
So
I
what
overwhelm
I
people.
do, I overwhelm people because they wake up to and they so I've actually had like high C personalities. I don't work well with them, like super high C's. I can work with a C, but I can't work with a super high C. I frustrate
Yeah, it's
them.
hard for me
So
too because I'm super high D, and that's that.
yeah, so what I do is, especially at that hour, because you have clarity, there's not all the noise
Right.
of the day. So what you do is you take a Google Doc, open it up. Your whisper flow will look like this. I'll show you guys. Let me stop sharing for just a second.
I didn't mean to derail, but that
No,
sounded really
no,
perfect for my
I'd rather like my
brain.
presentation is not for me, it's for you guys. And if I can add value in a way that's better, I want to do that. That's more important to me than anything. So let's say that I'm going to write a text. Let me pick someone who won't mind me sending them something. Okay. So when I send them a text, like my phone looks like this, normal. Whisper Flow sets up this thing at the bottom. It looks like a world. Click on
Mhm.
that. And then it'll say start flow, or you can just start talking. You can start, and then you just talk into it, and it will allow you. So it looks like this now.
Okay.
And it's basically taking everything I say. I'm going to give Bernadette, this is a test. Okay. So ignore Whisper Flow. Can you not, let me start over. Something that makes more sense. Okay. So I'm going to give Bernadette, when I get this call off this call, could you ask Casey's team to send me over a recording of it so I can do better next time and put it in Claude and ask Claude to tell me where I made mistakes and I could improve my presentation style for this particular training. And could you also remind me that I need to eat lunch at some point today? And could you also remind me that I need to call Casey later and schedule our horse trip because we have a really fun horse trip planned? And could you also tell me, like, you can just literally do this. Okay. Now I hit the check mark and it put it all nice and pretty for her. Right. When you do it on your computer, it will actually do lists. Like you can say, do bullet points, and it'll do bullet points for you. So that could all be
Okay.
bullet. I mean, if I would have said that, it would have done that for me.
And
But
then you just do that in a shared Google Doc
yeah, I
that
do it
the
in a
other
shared
person
Google
can.
Doc.
Okay.
And
I
then,
love
yeah.
that.
And then I say to the person, I'll say so in the morning time, I would say, send later, because we can do a send later, right? And say, hey, I just want you to know before God woke up, my brain was on fire, and I have a couple things I want to share with you. It's in your email. There are going to be HLAs. These are our high level activities for today. I know that we had some stuff yesterday, but that stuff took a backseat to what I'm thinking right now. And then could you go in there into that document and put your thoughts in there, and then let's collaborate on it at 11 o'clock. I sent you a Zoom invite. Like
Perfect. Very
that.
helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's how I'm leveraging, and I'm a better communicator, and people like me better. I make people crazy because I'm nuts. Okay. So let's go back. All right. Oh Lordy, what happened to you? Oh, there you are. Yay. Okay. So, um, let's see, where am I? So like what Deb was talking about with how she's using bold, you're using it with Bold Trail, right, Deb? I want to make sure I answer this question. Forgive me because I don't use some of the tools that you guys are using, but I know that they work. So there's AI already in Lofty. There's AI in Bold Trail as well. There is already there. I just don't know what it exactly does. But to your question, Joy, what you were, I think it was you that was asking. Um, you can,
Tammy.
even if it doesn't, it was Tammy. Tammy, if it doesn't do what you thought it should do, you can take your CSV file, like pull it, throw it into Claude, and then make Claude force it to do what you want it to do. Because I have done that with not Bold Trail or other, but other CRMs. So I will like pull the CSV and I'll say, I want this. And then like let's say that let's pretend like you don't, it's like you have 5,000 people. That sounds like a lot, right? And say you're like, okay, well, I've looked through this list and these are my, like you may have to go through visually and look through the list because they don't, like it's not going to intuitively know who your neighbor is or your restaurateur or your, the person that owns the boutique down the street. So you can pull out, you might have to do that manually, but then once you have it, you shove it into Claude and you say, Claude, I want you to build out this for this. You know what I mean? And make it work for you. So even if these other platforms, don't let these other platforms be the reason you don't get what you want out of them. Or and if you don't like that answer, go to YouTube and tell YouTube, this is what, like, ask it. Somebody has done this, right? So I'm like constantly thinking, okay, that didn't work. I don't know the answer. Claude doesn't know YouTube. Like that's kind of uh, my wheel. Um, let's see. Okay, so. Yeah, these are like questions you get. So one of the things you can do for anything you do is like, okay, there's something I like. You can get data. Like my husband loves to take data and help people make decisions with data. And usually realtors are not data driven. Typically, we like someone else to do data, give it to us, and then we can make decisions. That's how I am. Like I love the data. Like I love the number stack. I don't want to figure it out. So, and most of your clients are probably that person too. So, what you can do is go, is now a good time. That's basically asking for data. People ask for data in words and we miss it all the time. So now is now a good time to sell, especially right now with the way the interest rates are and blah, blah, blah. So just go in to the resources, ask Claude, say, I want the top resources for this and stack yourself up and then educate that online through your social media, through your messaging, through your newsletter that you do. Because you can build newsletters in Claude, you can build everything out. Like you could probably build out a year's worth of newsletters and never touch it. And you can always add it, like shoot a video, drop it in. But you can create all this, set your template up. It looks like you give it your branding colors, everything through Claude Code. You guys are probably advanced and probably doing this stuff. I don't even know. But you can take these stats because you're going to try to appeal to everybody in that newsletter, your whole database. Like usually like there's a girl that's maybe a high C data driven and a guy who's a high I or vice versa or whatever the relationship is. Like there's going to be there's a balancing act in every relationship. That's why people are attracted to each other. So when you're talking to the husband or the wife, we're usually drawn to one or the other typically. It doesn't matter, male or female, does not matter, right? It's just we're drawn to one person just because of their style. And then, but we have to talk to both. So like we want to make sure where you can use AI to actually talk to the style of person that you're not usually as good at, right? So I think that's a really good use of AI. And taking the information, like pull the comps, pulling the neighborhood briefings of like what's the demographics for that neighborhood, like all these different things, and you can get hyper specific or be more broad spectrum. But my team was using AI and they had all these stats, but they weren't really visual. So stats need to be a little bit visual so it appeals to all the people. So if you can take and you can like tell it to create a graph, a circle graph, or create a bar graph, or create this or that. And I want you to really emphasize, like put arrows pointing at this reason. This is why you move. You can do all kinds of things like that to aesthetically to help your newsletter look better. Does that make sense, or is that helpful? I mean, are you getting what I'm putting down? Like, I know that was kind of like a lot. Okay. I'm like, I mean, not a lot, but the way I said it may not have been great. So, but using that helps these people that have that brain set, that brain, their thought process. It helps you move the needle because the whole reason we do everything we do is to get people closer to a decision that we already know they need to make, whatever it is. Okay. So you can use it as your relationship manager and your neighborhood researcher, like we just talked about. So you're basically trying to create things that don't feel canned. You have to be super careful because everyone's starting to understand AI, but you want to keep your voice wrapped back in it. You have to force AI to do that. And if you don't, then just tweak it to make it feel more like you, more authentic. Drop a video in. The way to take AI and leverage it in my mind is you take and you create the newsletter, always throw a video of yourself in the newsletter, because that keeps you in front of them. And if they feel like it's just words, and it makes them know you, like you, trust you, like people want to be around that. Your content engine, like these are things we've kind of talked about. You're just making things faster for you. I am a Claude person. I've kept ChatGPT in here because it does have a place, and I still sometimes have to go back to it because I don't like something Claude did. And I'll say, what do you think? The Claude told me this. What do you think? And then it'll tell me, and then sometimes somewhere in between is where I land. And I use Gemini, I use Nano Banana. I used Nano Banana to create this. I'll show you something really quick. I forget all the things we do. We do a lot. Like, do you guys realize how much stuff we do? It's crazy. Um, this is for an event I'm doing next weekend. So my friends own a ranch, and ranch people don't have a lot of time. So their friend, who still doesn't have a lot of time either, created this to help them promote the ranch event. Here it is. So Nano Banana created that for me in 3 minutes. They think I'm a superstar. So like think about if you were doing an event, like let's think about this for a minute. How could you leverage this? Let's say you love dogs, which I do. And let's say that there's a dog shelter that's trying to raise money and they have an event coming up. And you're like, hey, I'll make the graphic for you. Give me the details. And you give them 10 graphics and they're like, and then you put it on social media and you help promote it. Like that's how you build a community of trust. You know, I didn't do this for any other reason than I'm trying to raise money for the veterans. This is a veteran horse drive, and I'm a part of it, and I want to be a contributor. So I did this like a ride in the ride. It's like a ride in the ride. This is next Saturday happening. We're raising money. So we're riding. I'll tell you what it is because you guys want to know, right? So we're taking 200 horses from the town of Gardner outside the gates of Yellowstone. And they're coming in from Wyoming because that's where they were. Oh, Jason's calling me. Oh, I'm taking this call. You guys are listening. Jason,
Well, hello, ma'am. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
That's awesome. It's so good to hear your voice.
I'm on a Zoom, but I took your call because one, I want to talk to you, and two, I think these people would love you. I literally just showed them the horse drive brochure that I made for the ranch. And Jason, what do you do at the horse drive? What is your job?
I'm the auctioneer for the benefit auction.
And you're pretty good, aren't you?
A lot of fun doing it.
Okay.
Again, they had to let me come back, so I guess they accept me anyways.
Where are you from?
I'm from a little town in far west Texas called Van Horn, Texas, kind of out on the Mexican border.
And what do you do for a living?
I work in film and television.
And what do you do in film and television?
I'm an animal coordinator for a gentleman by the name of Taylor Sheridan, and we've actually got a premiere coming out today. It's the spinoff of Yellowstone called Dutton Ranch, so we're pretty excited about it.
And what does your wife do?
My wife is the only female director for Taylor Sheridan. Her name is Christina Voros, and I don't really know how to put this in any other way. She's just an all-around badass. She's just she's a showrunner, she's a writer, she's a director, and she's one of the few directors in the business that also does her own director of photography. So there's not a lot of directors that do their own camera work as well.
That's awesome.
So she runs 5 cameras and directs at the same time.
And she, how did you meet her?
Well, she almost killed me on a movie set, literally.
I love you. You're the best. Can I call you later, honey?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be on the road, so call
All
me
right.
all day.
Hey, are you gonna, do you want to hang out and stay at our house?
I think I'm flying in really late Friday night. And
Yeah.
I think I'm supposed to stay with a buddy of mine when I get there in the little town right outside of Bozeman. I can't remember the name of it.
Is it Livingston?
No. Right after Three Forks, whatever that little town is called.
Oh, yeah. I know right where you are. Yep.
Right by the airport.
Okay.
And then I have to get back, so I'll probably fly out really, really early Sunday morning. But let you finish your deal and give me a holler.
All right, let's get together. Talk soon. Bye.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Bye, Jason. Love you too. All right. Isn't that crazy? You don't understand, like I don't talk to him all the time. But he's really cool. So anyways, back to my presentation here. I wanted you guys to meet him because he's the guy that like it's crazy that I was showing you that picture. He happened to call me and he's the guy that raises all the money for the track chair. So he's an auctioneer. He's freaking cool. And I got to meet him. And here's the other thing I want to tell you about that. You never know who and when and how things are going to happen in your life. I am not a horseback rider. I was 47 when I did it. I now know most of the cast from Yellowstone. I get to hang out with people like that. It's freaking cool. So do the things that scare you because you never know where you're going to land, like what's going to happen in your life. So I wanted you to listen to him because he never calls. Like that's weird. Like that was so bizarre. So I'm like but they're so busy. I mean, they run their own ranch. They're in movies. They're doing all the things. So
He
anyways,
picked up your energy that you were sending energy out about the fundraiser. He
isn't
picked
that
it up.
weird?
He
That
picked
is
up what you were laying down.
It showed up in my computer. The only reason I saw it, I wasn't looking at my phone. It showed up in my computer in the right-hand corner. Jason Owens is calling you. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of God things that happen every single minute of my life. It's the truth. It's not even like I'm so blessed. We are all so blessed, each one of us. And like, this is not like who I am. Like, I was a normal freaking kid that basically had nothing. Like what you can do, and it can happen fast. It can happen in a minute. It doesn't take much. And then just use the tools that we're doing to help ourselves grow and believe in yourself because like where the power is in you. It doesn't live outside of you. It lives in your heart. It lives in who you are. It lives in, and you can, and I'm telling you, like, I'm not supposed to, like, this life was not, I couldn't have dreamt this life. I didn't have a big enough brain to think about a life like this. I just didn't. I wasn't raised like this. My family thinks I'm crazy, by the way. They all do. They think I'm nuts. They're like, who is this crazy girl? So anyways, I want you guys to do the same things because I know you are. You guys are doing great things. Okay. I have questions down here. Let's see. You all may know this. If you need edit AI generated flyer, pop it in Canva and use magic layers. Oh, I did not know this. Oh, I like this. Joy, you're so smart. She's like, that's good. I like that. I'm gonna copy this and send this to Bernadette.
Yeah, do it. It's really fun. You can
Yeah,
even take people or things out of your images that way. If you took a picture with somebody and it's a really good picture of you, put it in
yeah.
Canva, do magic layers, and take that layer off.
Oh wow.
And then crop to
That,
just yourself or something. I mean, it's wild, but I started using it because AI often will add something that
weird
you don't
stuff.
want in there, or it will misspell things, especially places in a weird way, and you
Yeah.
don't want to tell it 100 times to change the flyer.
That
Just
is
take the
so smart.
flyer
So you can take
and
Nano
then change it.
Banana and say I didn't want the Teddy Roosevelt arch in there, and I could remove the arch but leave the rest because that has happened to me so many times.
And then you have to iterate it so many times. You have to keep prompting it. And sometimes I
Yeah,
get mad and say, I'm so mad at you now because I've told you 20 times not to put that in there. So you could just bypass that.
that's cool.
You
That's a
don't have
really
to
good
argue
tip.
with an inanimate object.
That's a really good tip. If you guys know what she's talking
Um,
about, do you understand it? Okay, cool. I love that. That's a good share. Uh-oh, this whisper flow is trying to do stuff on the bottom here. Stop it. It's in the way of my share button is the problem. So, okay, hold on. Okay, let me get back to where I was. I really get off track. This is a bad thing about ADHD. You guys are patient. Okay, back. Um, so here's just a bunch of quick little things you can do, before today if you wanted to. You could you tell people, you can write warm text messages to people. You can make a bunch of them, like set a goal of like, I'm going to reach out to 50 of my top people. I will tell you this, if you reach out to 20 people today, by the end of the day, you're going to be happier. You're going to have moved the needle in your business. You're going to have made a difference. You're going to have moved really massively, not just moved the needle, you've massively moved your needle in your business. You're going to have more energy tomorrow to do the next thing, because that's where momentum comes from, is doing like, I'm gonna reach out to 20 people today and be super intentional with how you do it. That makes a difference. Um, when we've all done the listing recaps, right? You might want to, one of the things I'd like to do is take, when I do anything on social media, this is something that surprisingly my team forgets to do. But like, we create all this content for our clients, and our clients, like especially our sellers, the ones that have homes list sitting right now, they'll be like, oh, well, what have they done for me lately? And what I like to do is take some social media, like if I posted about their house or something, and like at the end of the week, just text them and say, hey, did you see this post about your house? Or like, this was really great. Or like, just show them what you're doing, like in a text, just shoot them a quick text, a group text. I do that with my builders. My builder specifically they think that we do nothing. So we have to like show them that we do stuff. So just tell them, hey, we did this, we did that in a quick text, and you can have maybe do something in chat in Claude that creates something that you could send out weekly to your sellers. It can have it scrub your social media. Um, a niche one-liner. I don't know what that's for, but anyways, market brief update, summarize these market stats. We talked about that for the neighborhood. And then your partner touches your 3 referral partners, making sure you're touching them. Also like just doing stuff for your partners, like giving them business. Like when you give them a shout out or something online, maybe like your goal is, I'm gonna reach out to 20 people. I'm gonna give 5 shout outs online this week, one each day for each of these people in my community, especially if you live in a small community. It's gonna go a long ways. Um, Training your voice. These are just a bunch of little things. You can just screenshot these. I'm not going to go through them all with you. I'll have you. Oh, it's like past our time already. All right. Um, that's basically the same thing again. There's a 90-day plan, but that's boring. So make your business fit you. Like, don't try to be something you're not, but definitely don't lean away from AI, lean into the AI hard. Because I'm telling you, a lot of people aren't leaning into it hard. They're kind of like dibble dabbling with it. But if you really think about, oh, I did this task, how could I use AI to help me? I did this task, how could I use it to help me? Like, take some time to think. Like, once you've done something, sit back and think about what you did, and then think, oh, I could do it. I could use AI to help me leverage here in this spot. And then don't get overwhelmed with it. Just do one thing at a time. Adding whisper flow was a simple low lift to my life. So like, pick the little things, do a low lift, but stay intentional about the big things, which is staying in relationship with your people. And then I love this slide, because it's like, it doesn't replace your relationship, it removes every excuse not to show up. So it just helps us hit more people. It's more scalable. And then there's my slide. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I love that because it helps me. I love that. And I like to keep being connected. I like to see what you guys are doing. I like to see when people like are winning, and I like to see what they've implemented, and it's fun, right? Like that's we can start a relationship online too. And that's where a lot of you could go through your Instagram and scrub like people in your local area, and then you could add them to your database. That could be a great place to grab more database. And you could DM them and say, "Hey, I saw you follow me online." Like build relationships there. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to go to the grocery store to meet that person and wear a name tag. You can do it online. You can scrub it and be like, "Oh my gosh, I see this person's post. I really like that. They like dogs. I noticed you like dogs, etc." You can do that. So does anybody have questions or want to share anything? I love questions and sharing.
I love all of the actionable items and ideas. Really incredible information. And that the other thing I thought was cool is that there's those of you on the call are already using and digging in. And so it's always about expanding and getting new ideas and new perspectives to be able to take things to the next level. So, Shelley, you brought a ton of value. Thank you so much for that.
Ton.
Is there anything else anyone has before we want to wrap up for today?
I can't wait to dig in and do some of these. Following up is always my challenge. So there's some really actionable, easy wins here.
Thanks. I'm glad you that was valuable. One thing what you can do, Joy, is when you're thinking about that in your mind, and you're like, that's one of my struggles, is go into Claude and tell Claude, this is my struggle. Get me a plan that's going to work for me.
That's a good idea. That's a good
And
prompt.
just
Thank you. I'm writing it down.
get something that to say like, I want to do this. So when you're 5 a.m. after you're with your dog and you get
Hmm.
your brain dump done, make that the next thing you do.
Hmm.
Is those things that are harder for you because that'll be by then it'll be a normal you won't be up before God.
Hmm.
He'll be normal. He'll be at a normal hour.
Right? Normal time.
Yeah, I
Right.
love that. I love that. Well, Shelley, appreciate
Thank you.
you. Thank you for who you are, your contribution. Love having you on the call. Look forward to having
Fun.
you back. And everyone, make it a great rest of your day. We'll have the recording up. It'll be on the Empire Builders Pro site. And then for those of you that are on the email list, it'll get sent out via email as well. And we'll look forward to seeing you soon. Make it a great day.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.